Well, a table saw is good for two basic cuts. First of all, there's a cross cut that cuts things to length, and then there's a rip cut that cuts things to width. Now, there's a special cut used especially on table legs that's called a tapered rip cut. And when it's made, it looks something like this, and there's a long, gentle taper almost the whole length of the leg. Now, in order to make this cut, I used to build a special jig for each set of table legs in order to make this tapered cut exactly the way I wanted it. Well, I got tired of making all those jigs, so I decided to make this universal taper leg jig. It just fits over here, and it has a plywood base, and then underneath the base is a runner that rides in the miter gauge slot. Now, the key thing on the base is the edge of the base is perfectly aligned with the cutting edge of the rip blade. Now, on top of the base is this fence that's fully adjustable to make any taper that you want to make. It's held in place with these knobs that ride in T-track, and then there's another set of T-track here, and that's for hold downs to hold the leg in place. Well, all this is explained in the plans. The key thing is, how do you set it up? Well, when you're making a tapered leg, you want to mark out where the taper starts and stops. Now, generally, at the top of the leg, you're going to have an apron for, say, a table, and right below it, the taper is going to start. Then at the bottom of the leg, you just have to make two marks where you want the taper to end. Well, after marking out the start and the stop points of the taper, the next thing is to mount the leg in the jig so you can actually make this cut. Now, I've turned it around so the top is at the front of the jig, and I'm going to align that where the taper starts right with the edge, the very edge of the base, and then tighten this down just lightly. Now, down here at the bottom of the leg, there's a stop, and that makes sure that all four legs stop in exactly the same position. It's always a good idea on a table. So I've aligned that. Now I'm going to move my fence over so that the mark that I have on the bottom of the leg aligns with the edge of the base. Get that aligned and tighten this down. Now, sometimes you have to go back and forth on these two things. It looks like we're in pretty good shape here. So I'll go ahead and tighten this fence down all along, and then bring the hold downs up and tighten them down to hold the whole leg in place. Okay, now we're just about ready to make the cut. There's two more things that we have to do. First of all, we're going to raise the saw blade to make the full cut of the leg. And then second, I've installed an outfeed table because this jig is kind of heavy, and I want some support at the back end of the cut so I don't have to hold on to the jig at all. Well, I'm ready to make this cut. So to make the cut, I just turn on the saw and push the jig through the blade. After the first cut, I rotate the leg, realign it, and make the second taper. Okay, let's just get this leg out of here and see how it worked. Okay, we've got two perfectly cut tapers with a fully adjustable taper jig.
Woodsmithplans.com. Hundreds of professional, high-quality woodworking plans right at your fingertips. Every single plan is presented as an easy-to-download digital package that includes pages of step-by-step instructions, full-color photos, illustrations, and exploded views, retail sources for hardware and supplies, plus a cutting diagram and materials list. Many plans offer handy video overviews and guides. Plus, we're proud to offer our plans in both standard and metric. Everything is here, from gorgeous heirloom furniture projects to handy shop projects and upgrades, clever, cost-effective storage solutions, as well as weekend projects and accessories that are great for gifts, all fully searchable and categorized for easy browsing. Woodsmithplans.com, everything you need for building fine woodworking projects.